As we were dreaming of and planning for a cruising lifestyle, the risk of hurricanes was one of our biggest fears that we had to learn about and overcome. And when Hurricane Irma, a catastrophic Category 5 hurricane, threatened to turn our Bahamian paradise into this, we had about a week to put our plan into place. We were in Georgetown in the Bahamas, and the first thing we did was reserve a mooring in a hurricane hole that was protected from the wind by a 65-foot high hill of mangroves. Peacemaker was nestled in the hole on our mooring, and we were planning to leave the boat and stay in a concrete cottage halfway up the hill in the mangroves. The mainsail and its cover came down, and we made sure to label things so that when we put her back together again, we'd remember what went where. Brewster helped us take the headsail down. And I hoisted Josh up the mast to tie down the ropes and lazy jacks that we couldn't take down. We got up at dawn every day to listen to the marine weather forecast on our SSB radio, and we'd also keep close tabs on the updates on the National Hurricane Center's website. We took off as much as we could that would catch the wind, so even these deck vents came down.
Hey, what's happening down there?
Then a few days before the hurricane was forecast to hit, we pulled a half-prepped Peacemaker onto her mooring in the hurricane hole and continued our work. We dove on our mooring to check it out. It looked good, but as an extra precaution, we shackled anchor chain to the top and bottom pivot points of the mooring line. So just in case the line broke in high winds, we'd have the chain as a backup. How are you feeling about all of this?
Feeling good. I think we prepared best we can, and we're not going to be on the boat, so that's something. And we're in a big hurricane hole, so that's something. And tied a bunch of lines, and we've strapped everything down, and getting the last of the gear out of the cabin or the helm and off the deck. Yeah, hopefully it's not too windy though.
It's Wednesday at noon, and the winds are supposed to pick up starting tomorrow evening. And we've got a lot of prep done. Josh is starting to freak out. I still think we're fine. We've got a lot done. We can get it done. But we're going to let you go so we can get to it. As we continued to get Peacemaker ready, the local community prepared the town by boarding up windows on shops, buildings, schools, churches, and homes. By Thursday morning, we were almost as ready as we could be. Just a few final things to take care of and finish packing to spend the next few nights ashore. We closed all the seacocks, wiped down all the ports and lubed the gaskets before closing them to prevent leaks, which worked. We set the bilge pump to auto and turned off breakers for all the rest of the electronics on the boat. And since the solar panels were disconnected, we charged up the batteries one last time by running the engine. And luckily we remembered to empty the fridge and keep it open a crack. And for the few remaining things we couldn't put down in the cabin, we tied down tight in the cockpit. We have Peacemaker all packed up, stripped down, tied down,
Taped down, bungee down, strapped down,
hopefully not bungee down.
Just bungee down too. She's got all her lines out and everything's tucked in for the strong winds are coming.
Yeah. We really hope, we think we have her in the best place that we can, and we found a place to go ashore. I kind of feel bad that we're abandoning her, but I know it's the best thing that we should do for safety. But it's kind of sad now to be like leaving for the last time. I hope she's in this condition when we get back.
Back to back, let's go, my love, it's very late. Till morning come, let's desolate.
Bye, Peacemaker, we love you. After we got to shore, we deflated the dinghy and strapped it down to the dock, along with its fuel tank and outboard engine. Then we walked up to the pavilion at the top of the ridge to survey the hurricane hole and the beautiful surroundings in the calm before the storm.
And keep my all lovely you.
It was hard to imagine that Mother Nature would turn this into this in a matter of hours.
My love. And
But before the winds picked up later that night, we enjoyed dinner with our fellow boat friends who were seeking shelter in the adjoining cottage.
It's 7:45 a.m. and as you can see, it's getting kind of windy. We're in the gazebo above our cottage. There's Peacemaker right out there. We hope she stays safe.
chance of you will sit down to see. Blubber roots in the morning. I'm not sure. Yes, I know it's got away. It's fair to say. You will sell morning. Triangles are my favorite shape.
10:45 in the morning in Georgetown, Bahamas, and we're gonna see what the Atlantic looks like.
My love, it's very late. Till morning comes.
Very gusty up here. I think probably 70 knots of wind, baby.
Peacemaker's still out there! On her mooring, it looks like all the boats are still on As the winds continued to build, Brewster found a spot inside the cottage to hide. And we toasted to our 5-year anniversary with the wine that was part of our wedding ceremony. This'll be quite a memorable anniversary.
Peacemaker's still there. She's rocking and rolling out there, but she's there. God, I'm glad we're not on that boat. I'm glad nobody's on these boats.
Points where two lines meet, toe to toe, back to back. Let's go, my love. It's very late till morning.
The storm passed overnight, and I was up at dawn to check on Peacemaker. Georgetown sustained winds of up to 110 miles an hour during the storm, and we'd been seeing reports of the devastation in so many other Caribbean islands that were hit even harder. So that morning when I saw Peacemaker and all the other boats safe and still floating in place just as they had been, all the stress and emotion of how close we came to losing our home hit me at once, and I was overcome with a sense of relief.
Now seeing it after the storm, seeing it, and then all of our I'm so thankful.
We were all anxious to get back to our boats to check on them up close, so we inflated the dinghy and got it back in the water.
One bird, one red, one green. Sets a grace while the cat speaks. Chunks of you.
Well, Irma passed 3 days ago, and now we have clear skies and light winds, and we're pulling out of our safe haven.
Yeah!
What an experience! Time to get Peacemaker put back together and back on the open sea.
Peace out.
There were so many people not nearly as fortunate who lost their homes, businesses, and communities. Sailors Helping has been organizing efforts to activate the cruising community to help provide relief and rebuild. Please consider donating or volunteering to help them.
Let's desolate.